A lot of big things happened last week, guys. First of all, Maker Studios was bought by Disney for $1.5 billion. We'll talk about what that means for us as creators. Also, Yahoo is starting their own video sharing service and reportedly stealing a lot of creators away from YouTube in order to launch that and make that successful. And then YouTube then responds by updating some things of how it displays and sells advertising here to make more money for some creators. And I'll talk about all that. It's coming up. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and it is Tuesday, which means it's time to talk about some online video news from last week and talk about the implications that it has for us as creators. And one of the things that you guys started tweeting me about right away was, Tim, did you see that Maker Studios was bought for $500 million and with bonuses of up to $950 million, almost $1 billion, depending on how some of their stats perform? And I tweeted you back saying yes, and then you asked, will you please talk about this? And so here we are. And I don't really have a whole lot to say about this, but I do think that there's two things that have implications for us as creators. One is that now that Hollywood has officially made a major stake in YouTube, like we're starting to see those two worlds collide and we knew it was going to happen. Like it was just a matter of time until like the Hollywood space started looking at the YouTube space and not just seeing it as a bunch of cat videos, but saying like, oh, there's legitimate audiences being developed here. And oh, wait, YouTube is now more popular among teens than Facebook. And so for all of us, whether you're with Maker Studios or not, like this place has been like legitimized by Hollywood like officially. And that thereby will pass like a lot more credibility and things on to like the rest of the YouTube ecosystem, including our own channels. And hopefully because of that, also more money will start coming into this system as well. The second thing that I think it does for us as creators is that it shows us that like some of these brands aren't just interested in having access to an audience where they can pay to promote content or run advertising or do brand integration deals, but some are actually, they would rather own the audience, and I think that's really what Disney wanted to do here. This deal makes it very easy now for Disney to start integrating some of its audience into YouTube, and the YouTube audience starts to mix with the Disney audience, you know, and it just kind of makes sense for them to just own all of Maker's 5.5 billion monthly viewers than it is to just like constantly keep promoting and advertising and paying for that and trying to measure ROI. Like this will just make it way more seamless for them. So all that is cool, but the main thing that caught my eye from last week is that Yahoo is reportedly moving into the video sharing space. Now, we kind of expected something to happen because after Yahoo's deal with Dailymotion fell through, where they tried to buy them for like $300 million, and that just didn't work out. So we knew that like Yahoo's going to try something else, and they made some moves, right? They brought on like Katie Couric to be their global news anchor, and they made some big moves there. But now it seems like Yahoo is making some additional big moves by reportedly tapping the shoulder of some pretty big YouTube creators and saying, hey, why don't you move your audience from there to our platform, and we can give you like much more money to do what you're doing here. Who they're talking to and who's actually going to make the switch and who isn't, like we don't know any of those details yet. The question that runs through my mind though is if the business model on YouTube is like debatably broken / working, you know, it depends on who you talk to, what business model is Yahoo going to do that's like different, that's actually going to make this like more viable so that they can offer creators like more money for the same amount of audience, same viewers or content or whatever? Like what can they do differently? In order to really make this successful, I'm not really sure like what's going to happen so that it doesn't eventually end up in the same spot that YouTube is in right now. Unless Yahoo's video sharing service isn't actually like a user generated content where anyone can post stuff and they can control the inventory and things like that. I don't know how it's going to work, but we do know that YouTube then responded, whether or not it's directly to this report of Yahoo tapping big YouTube creator shoulders or not, we don't know, but the timing seems to be a little ironic. So what they're changing is, one, now you can actually set up your ad campaigns to run in advance against future content. So if there's like a creator that you really want to advertise against, you can actually have like a queue of advertisers like lined up, I guess, you know, to advertise and promote themselves against that creator. And then for the channels who do that, YouTube is adding on this extra bonus that rather than like selling you based on like how many views and charging you based on how many like impressions you're getting or whatever, instead it's based on how well you are reaching your target audience with your ads. So those advertisers aren't paying just like a flat CPM, you know, per 1,000 views. Instead, they are paying for a guaranteed percentage of reach to their targeted audience. Which if you think about it, makes a lot of sense, right? Because like any advertiser would rather be guaranteed like, hey, your ad dollars are going to reach this specific group of people or this demographic. So if someone who's not in that demographic sees your video, you don't have to pay. So this puts the weight on Google to really do a good job at delivering very targeted and specific ads directly to the audience that these advertisers want to reach, rather than just like putting it on, a video like this channel roughly has, this type of demographic, and so, you're gonna pay per 1,000 views even if like half of them weren't actually people that you were trying to target exactly. Google already has some pretty good targeting tools, but I'm guessing they're gonna step it up for this and make these ads even more valuable. And this is only for the top 5-ish percentage, of YouTube creators, but maybe if this works really well, maybe we'll see this trickle down to the rest of us. I would really love to hear from you guys in the comments below about what do you think about YouTube's restructuring some of how they display ads and how they sell ads and things like that. What do you guys think about this? Comments below. I'm always really curious to hear what you guys think. Personally, I have no idea whether or not this is like a good move. I mean, it sounds like a good one, but like I don't know how it'll actually perform in the long run. So I guess I'm kind of glad that they're just going to experiment with it on the top 5%. And if those people start making like tons more money and Google starts seeing more ad dollars coming in because of this change, it'll be good for the rest of us eventually. I just got one quick bonus link for you guys down there in the description text. If you want to read more about any of these stories, they're all linked up down there. But an extra one for you guys that might be interesting is, what does Google do when the government comes knocking on their door asking for your personal information? How does Google handle that? And when do they hand over your information? And what kind of information do they hand over? Like that whole process is turned into like a little entertaining board game video that you guys can watch on there. Or you can just refrain from engaging in illegal activity either online or offline and just not have to worry about it. If this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every Tuesday, we do kind of what you just saw here, take a look at online video news and talk about the implications it has for us as creators. Tomorrow on Wednesdays, give you guys some YouTube tips, ideas, advice, suggestions, and then on Thursdays, we do some YouTube Q&A, answering some questions about some stuff you guys are experiencing or wondering about here on YouTube. All that is coming up this week, so subscribe. I do all of this because I really do believe that a lot of you guys have messages that could really change people's lives and make this world a better place. If the people who just need to hear what you have to say could find you and hear what you have to say. So thank you for letting me be a part of helping you guys build your audiences, growing your channels here on YouTube. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.